Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and this evening we'll have a look at the latest from the GFS, the GEM, the ECMWF, and then we'll have a look at the GFS Ensembles and finish up having a look at the UK Met Office run as well. Now it is looking like it's going to be pretty stormy over the next week heading up to Halloween with a lot of low pressure around and westerly winds. So yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to be particularly good conditions. If you're interested in what's going to be happening further on from that, make sure you check out my third winter look ahead that I did earlier today. I released it a few hours ago, so do go check that out, and I'll link that in the top right right now. So do remember, if you enjoy my videos, make sure you like and subscribe, and remember to follow on Twitter as well. The link's in the description. So we do run through the latest GFS. You can see at the moment we do have a brief ridge of high pressure that is building over the top of the UK. And it means things are going to be relatively dry tonight. However, low pressure is going to be approaching through tomorrow into Sunday. Weather front's pushing in, and it's going to be turning unsettled for all. We then do get a sort of a burst of warm southwesterly winds, but it is accompanied by low pressure. It's going to be going pretty unsettled, and we're continually seeing barrages of rain moving in. Eventually, we put up some quite warm air mass again from the south, but warmer air mass means the rain is going to be even heavier, and it's looking like it's going to be pretty miserable for Halloween with low pressure around. Beyond that, we do see a colder air mass sit over the top of the UK, with it does slowing down quite a lot as we see higher pressure building in the centre of the Atlantic. This bit of a northerly wind, nothing too cold, but things turning a little bit drier, and then right towards the end of the run going really quite zonal with sort of a west to northwesterly wind, still seeming very unsettled. Not looking great if you're a fan of anything drier or even colder at this stage. It is looking pretty unsettled and miserable over the next few weeks, so you're going to have to begin to get umbrellas out, coats out, and keep an eye on the forecast. It does look like there's going to be a lot of rain around. So we do now have a look at the GM, see how that's compare. You can see over the next few days low pressure approaching from the Atlantic, and we're going to be seeing really unsettled conditions with this trough just sitting out to our west. The heaviest rain will of course be in the north and the west, closer to the centre of the lows, but pretty much all of the UK is going to see some rain, but again heaviest rain further northwards and westwards. The south could even be quite warm at times, maybe quite mild as well, getting up to sort of mid-teens, high teens potentially, as we are drawing up the air from the south, but it will be accompanied by low pressure, so potentially bringing in more rain. In the longer term, we do build a ridge of high pressure out in the middle of the Atlantic, and it sort of slows the weather systems down. If we did run this on a little bit further, I do suspect we'd start to see the airflow come in from the north for the start of November, but it's not looking at like anything too potent. It's not looking like too much is happening at this stage, and we just got to keep an eye on it. For now, though, up until day 10, it is looking really westerly and potentially even stormy, especially in the west. If we have a look at the ECMWF, see how that does compare, you can see over the coming days, again, a lot of westerly winds and unsettled conditions. Beyond that, as we're towards day 10, we maintain this pattern of just low pressure sitting over top of the UK. Really quite a warm air mass coming up from the southwest, but still looking really quite stormy and unsettled. And as I said earlier, with that warmer air mass, more moisture in the air, it means the rain is going to be even heavier than if this was a cooler air mass or just straight flat westerly. So yeah, it doesn't look great, and that would be being a widespread rain to the whole of the United Kingdom and the British Isles. Really no area is going to be escaping that. If we now have a look at the GFS Ensemble, see how that does compare to what we saw with the operational runs. You can see at the moment a lot of up and down. It's typical of sort of a zonal sine wave with colder and warmer sectors. We've got colder at the moment, goes a little bit warmer over the next few days, then colder once again, and then warmer once again. Now again, these aren't drastically warm or cold, just a couple degrees above or below average. Beyond that, though, as we head through the last few days of October, it does look like we can maintain a southwesterly flow with low pressure sitting out the Atlantic, just bringing up weather fronts and periods of rain. Small troughs as well could enhance the rain. You can see a lot of precipitation around 30th to the 1st of November, and temperatures well above average with that warmer southwesterly air mass. Beyond that, temperatures drop to around or maybe just below average for the start of November. A lot of scatter around, a couple going quite cold in the ensembles, others remaining warm and mild. So yeah, a lot of uncertainty in the longer range, but at this stage it is not looking great over the next few weeks. But again, it is autumn, so this sort of weather pattern is kind of expected, I guess, with a lot of autumnal westerly winds, and we've got away with it recently, but it does look like we're going to be seeing this low pressure really return. If we have a look at Glasgow, which we're seeing further northwards, you can see a lot of unsettled weather coming. Again, very similar with the upper air temperatures following on from London, because of course southwesterly winds are going to bring warmer or milder air to all. Again, cooler conditions at the moment, but up and down over the next sort of 3 or 4 days, and staying above average generally, and then potentially dropping to around or below average for the first week or so of November. A lot of precipitation. Now, it's not going to rain all the time, of course, but most days we'll be seeing rain with that sort of pattern we saw there on the operational runs, with low pressure just sitting at the Atlantic. Most days, especially in the north and west, we'll be seeing, if not frontal systems or persistent rain, we'll be seeing showers coming in from the westerly airflow. So it is not looking particularly great. It does look like we're going to be seeing a lot of autumnal and stormy conditions. So we do finally have a look at the UKMO office run. Just wrap up having a look at this. You can see at the moment a few showers around, but nothing really too much. We've got a ridge of high pressure. However, tomorrow morning into the afternoon, we see heavy rain pushing in from the west as weather fronts encroach on the UK. Heaviest rain further northwards and westwards, but you can't rule out some heavier rain potentially in the southwest and maybe a few eastern areas at times. That weather front eventually does push eastwards, but loses its strength for Sunday. Still some heavy showers pushing into the west and then the south as well potentially. It does look pretty unsettled, and then we head through Monday afternoon, still more showers, and you can see more cloud building, heavy rain for Scotland, and then another big weather front's pushing through for Wednesday, and we're going to be seeing that again fragment as it comes up against higher pressure to east, but still bringing cloud and rain for most, maybe the far east, sort of dodging it, but it really is still looking pretty unsettled. If we have a look at the max temperatures, because at the moment it's going to be pretty chilly night, really. Potentially a light frost here or there in a few areas in the north, but generally many areas staying around 6, 7, 8 degrees, and a bit warmer further westwards as we start to bring in westerly winds. Tomorrow afternoon, still reasonably chilly, 10 to 14 degrees, maybe a bit colder in a few spots. But by Sunday, things are starting to get a little bit milder from the west, maybe 16, 17 degrees in the far west. Still chilly for many areas though. And by Monday afternoon, really does depend on where we're seeing rain. 14, 15 degrees in the far east, only 9 or 10 degrees in the north and the west, or even 5 degrees over Scotland, with a lot more rain and cloud bringing those temperatures down. Beyond that, as we head into Tuesday, you can see again temperatures around 13, 14, 15 degrees, not feeling particularly pleasant. And then by Wednesday, as we start to bring in the southwesterly airflow, could be seeing 16, 17 or 18 degrees potentially in the south. But again, it all depends on cloud and rain amounts, and at this stage, we can't really call those exactly. We would have to look maybe a day or two out to have a look at timings and exact rain and cloud amounts. Because of course, if we see a lot of rain and cloud, it's going to hold these temperatures down, or even if the temperatures do get this high, it's going to be feeling definitely cooler than that. So we'll have to keep an eye on what happens with this. That's the really only positive from having a southwesterly this time of year, is that we could see some milder or even warmer conditions in the south and the east. But for many areas, it is looking pretty miserable over the coming weeks, as it does look like it's going to be going stormy. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.